Everybody learn how to set up custom Excel spreadsheets to be used as your trial balance reports in advanced flow. The first thing you're going to want to do is get into your client and go to the trial balance folder. Once you're at the trial balance folder, you're going to want to add a work paper. You go right up here to the add and the work paper button. You click that and you're going to want to drop down the source and change it to custom Excel. The grouping type is how you want your report to run. Most likely you're going to use the account grouping. You're going to click next. Then you're going to choose which code system that you want, account classification or lead sheet codes. Lead sheet codes are great for a lead sheet code report, and the account classification is good if you want to set up more of a trial balance type report. So we're going to choose lead sheet codes. Under the codes, you're going to choose all. You don't want to include unassigned codes. It'll make the thing huge. Include journal entry detail and include accounts with zero balances for accounts with activity. The next piece you're going to do is go to the columns tab. Here you'll have the basics set up already. But what you want to do is set up like our standard report out of CSA. You're going to add some columns to the report. So the first one you're going to add is, and every one of these pretty much is going to be a balance column. So balance, decide whether you want the prior year column to be adjusted or report. I like report. Current period stays current period, and then you're going to choose one prior period. Then you're going to move that up. You can use these two up and down arrows to move columns back and forth. So I'm going to move that up, and then we'll come down here to the adjusted. We want our first column to be unadjusted. That you don't get to choose prior period or anything else. After the unadjusted column, we want to add one. We're going to go to balance. This time we're going to choose adjusting JE. This will pick up our adjusting journal entries. There's no prior period of year choice, but you do have the ability to display separate debit and credit columns. I would say for the most part, if you're going to be doing a wide report with the unadjusted to report balances, do not check that box. It gets too wide, and if you try to fit to a page, the print gets very small. So you're going to add your next column, and that's going to be balance, and you're adjusted because we're going from unadjusted, adjusting JG journal entries, and then the adjusted column. Then we're going to add our next column, balance. This one's going to be your reclassifying journal entries. Again, don't click display separate debit and credit columns unless you're doing only a few columns wide. So we're going to add our last column in here, balance. Oop, as you can see, I did that wrong. Balance. If you choose something other than balance, especially if it's in the code, account, or description, it's going to yell at you and say you already have it. Finally, I go to report, and I want the current period. Then I'll choose next. Give it a work paper reference. For your standard lead code report, we'll just do a TB10. Click OK. And the other pieces you don't have to worry, they default. You want to include and retain. Now it's done. Now if I want to launch it, I double click it, and Advanced Flow will open up the Excel work paper for us. Okay, we're back. Now, we've got the spreadsheet done. So here you can see the spreadsheet that it creates. Here you can scroll down and see it does it by the codes. You have your AJEs here, and then it gives you your adjusted columns, your reclassifying, your report. Now, the one thing that's nice is once you have this work paper done, you can customize it to look however you like. You can do the print column titles. If you go to page layout, print titles, rows to repeat at the top, boom. Now all your columns will repeat. You can take your columns here, you can center those columns. Now when you go to save the document back to Advanced Flow, you want to go to your Go File Room tab and then Save to Go File Room. And we're going to save to Go File Room and keep working for now. Also in the Advanced Flow tab, you can reset up this work paper. If you go into Options and you log back in with your user ID and password, you can then have the same Options tab and Columns tab, so that if you messed up something when you first set it up, you can go back here and correct it. There's nothing needs to be changed here. You can go to your page layout, change it to landscape, and shorten your columns. Do whatever you need to do, and it will retain those qualities. So if you look at it here and I print, and you can do scaling, fit all columns on one page. As you can see, it gets kind of small, but still readable when you have this many columns on there. So we're going to go back, going to go and close it out and tell it yes, save to Go File Room. As you can see, Excel has crashed on me, and hopefully it will have saved this back to Go File Room. We'll find out here in just a second. Let's go back into it. I'm trying to run this from my home computer, so this is not quite set up as optimum, so I'm hoping this will work fine and I won't have to redo the video. Now it has pulled the report back up, and as you can see, these are still centered. If I go to print preview, it's still set to fit all columns to one page. So that is how you set up and save a Excel spreadsheet to work as your trial balance piece in Advanced Flow. That's it.